Hi, my name is Adi Sugaleta, individual video project for ICS-490 cyber operation class at Metro State, Professor Faisal Kalim. Topic for today, federated identity management. Federated identity management is an arrangement that can be made among multiple enterprises that let subscribers use the same identification data to obtain access to the network of all enterprises in the group. The use of such system is sometimes called identity federation. Federated identity means linking personal electronic identity, attribute, and profile information, which then becomes stored across multiple identity management systems. For example, single sign-on is a valuable application for federated identity since it uses users' authentication across the IT system, organization, and various applications in the cloud. I like this analogy in mind. Identity federation is like an amusement park with an enterprise single sign-on. You get into amusement park, but you still need to pay for each ride. With a federation, you get into the amusement park, but have a wristband that every ride operator recognize you and let you ride. The problem was that if organization want to have a user's credential carrying over from one domain to another, then there would be a new system for authentication. As the internet grew more complex and more interconnected, developers started to realize that isolating authentication on the individual domain was not the scalable system. How federated identity management work? The Waverly infrastructure was not built to permit federated identity management. It worked against it. In fact, it was the one earliest and most crucial principle, the same origin policy that made IDEA very difficult to implement. The same origin policy states that no cookie or other information stored in the user's computer can be accessed except by original creator that stored the information. This is fundamental. It means that domain Y cannot refill through your data and find your username and password to the domain X. Without this policy, the whole idea of internet security would be moot. What this meant was a company with multiple domains, if they want to users have a seamless or fluid experience navigating between them, had found another way to secure transfer information. So generally how it works is users try to log into the client or app. A request for authentication is sent from a client to authorization server. Authentication is returned from authorization server to the client. Users are permitted to access the client or the app. This way, if the domain X and Y are related, their owners want users to move freely between the two, they can simply triangulate around the external authorization server. This benefits overall the security by exposing the client to less overall having login attempt, therefore less risk. Also give users a smooth experience. So what is the difference between single sign-on and federation? A single sign-on is like an umbrella term for anytime users can log into multiple applications while authentication done is one. It covers both federation and passwordless valuing, which is commonly known as enterprise single sign-on. The main difference with federation eliminates the requirement to remember password while enterprise doesn't. The federation server passes the token using one of the standard IDEA protocol like SML or Auto. The benefit to federation is security and authentication is both on one premises on cloud application. Enterprise single sign-on is when the application are all still required that passwords are sent to login, but software handles storing it and automatically retrieve for users and inputting into application for automatically login. The user still has a password for each system that must be provided to login, and it's also required to change regular basis. Today we see federated identity everywhere, most notably what we call a single sign-on. With single sign-on, you can log in into Gmail and then open up YouTube in different tab. For instance, you stay logged in, all hanging on the central domain, verifying the status of each user as they move across a subdomain. You log in once, authentication is done through the central domain. The token or the cookie is generated to authenticate you across the subdomain. Some are more enterprise focused, while some authentication through social media and other better for personal use. Some use a decentralization system, the security assertion makeup language. For instance, any node in SMN network is capable of accepting authentication done by another node. Some don't. When you log in through the Facebook connection, all authentication done is by Facebook. Emerging in popularity now, passwordless system where you across doesn't hang up on credential but your possession of some other factor like cell phone and unique finger. The problem with decentralization in older days, all corporate software was stored on a massive internet server run. There was no need to worry about integration because everything you need was stored in one place. Everything was already integrated. Now there was an endless different social and enterprise option for just login. Now it provides that kind of integration experience, negotiating between all different kind of identity providers that users authenticate with. But it also means dealing with different kind of authorization practice, defining specific access restriction, attribute exchange practice, avoiding to duplicate of users data created by interaction between different identity providers, users management practice, being able to access, create, update, and delete users' account. Auto and federated identity management. Auto is both classic identity provider and federated identity management system. This means that you can set up that users see the auto login inbox when they visit your site. When they sign up, their credentials are stored in auto. When they log in, their credentials are authorized by auto. Auto behaves as normal single sign-on app. You can then go to any other app or site the user auto using the auto. You remain logged in if administrator has enabled that option. Auto is a true federated management in the sense that it there doesn't just allow you for stay logging in across the domain. Auto also give you access for to your user account everyone on your system. Allow you set the specific access restriction across the identity provider. Keep all the data consistent. The benefit of federated identity management. Identity management primary goal is cloud computing and managing personal identification so that access to the computer resource, application, data, and the service is controlled properly. Identity management is area of IT security that offers genuine benefit beyond reducing risk of security breach. Identity federation offers economic advantage as well as convenience to enterprise and their network subscriber. For example, multiple corporation can share a single application with a resulting cost saving and consolidation of resource. In order for federated identity management to be effective, the partner must have a sense of mutual trust. Authorization message among partners in federated identity management system can be transmitted using a security assertion makeup language or some XML standard that allow users login once, affiliation, and separate the websites. Identity management help prevent security breach and play a significant role in helping your company meet security compliance regulation. The benefit of keeping your customer or company financial data safe from unauthorized access to use. A single sign-on is efficient and user-friendly access to corporate application for its employees, customers, and partners. Easier across organization collaboration, high security on all platform and type of mobile and desktop device, simpler management of user administration is removed from the individual application and combined one central components of domains, ability to choose between a variety of login methods such as ID or social media ID, corporate logins, improve user productivity, improve customer and partner service, and reduce help desktop. Thank you.